Hello, everyone. Welcome to the eighth episode of Telecom Talk Show. And as always, we have Tanay Singh Thakur, who is the chief editor of Telecom Talk. And today we're going to be talking about like what Indian consumer can expect from the telecom industry in 2022. So, Tanay, to start with you, what do you see from 2022? From a telecom perspective, what we can expect?
Hey Tarun, glad to be joining again. So in 2022, we might see a lot of new things that we have never seen before. So first of all is 5G. Okay, that is a very highly anticipated technology, and every operator would be trying to launch its first 5G network around August 15 because that is a very special day for India, and the government wants it to happen that way only. And then we might see BSNL 4G. I'm using the word might because there are a lot of delays when anything is associated with BSNL. And then, one of the biggest things that the telecom sector might see is the sector reforms 2.0. The sector for reforms 2.0 are going to be more focused on less litigation for the sector and making the norms easier for the telcos. So what about you? You have any expectations?
My only expectations are that things are really going to change when it comes to tariff. The tariff is going to increase. Things are not going to be the same like how people consume broadband or mobile calling and all. So what I believe is that broadband price is going to increase. Data consumption, what we are currently getting, might reduce. On top of that, right now, the telco operators have not made any changes on the postpaid tariff. So we can expect some hikes that's going to come into place in the postpaid sector. On top of that, prepaid, which is already they have hiked, and maybe there might be at least 5% hike, what we can expect in next year on the prepaid thing. On top of that, as you have mentioned about 5G, 5G is going to be there, definitely. It's going to come. And added to that, we're going to see a lot of new revolution when it comes to IoT or healthcare sector. A lot of things are going to change. So many more things that's going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
Tarun. So, Tarun, you're saying you expect another round of tariff hikes in the prepaid sector, prepaid segment.
Definitely, that's what my
Okay.
my sources are saying.
You believe the
Definitely going
broadband prices will also go up?
broadband. What I see is that maybe the data what they are currently offering, like a lot of broadband providers are offering like 1 TB. Things might reduce they
Okay.
might come up with like some sort of maybe you might get like some 50 GB data for some X amount of rupees. Right now, they might be offering 100 GB data. Maybe they might reduce the offerings, and maybe there might be a chances that tariff might increase with the same amount of data what you're currently using. So that's the one thing what I'm expecting in next
So
year.
I had another thing, I forgot about the SATCOM sector. And that is an
Yeah,
upcoming sector for India, right? Starlink, OneWeb, Amazon's Project Kuiper, and then a lot more private companies that are going to come into the SATCOM sector. And we have talked a lot about Starlink, I believe. We have even covered a lot of articles around OneWeb. And all of these companies, I don't think these are made for commercial deployment for normal users. I mean, because these are going to be very expensive. So obviously, this is something that we should look forward to. But I don't know if the end consumers are really going to benefit out of it in a very major way right away. So this is, I guess, something of a B2B play. What do you think about the Satcom sector?
but if you look at what Starlink is doing in US and UK, they are currently offering trial for general consumers. You get to hear like they offer this much speed, and people are already testing. Even they came up with new two varieties of antennas. Earlier there was a different variety of
Yeah.
antenna, but when it comes to India, as you reported earlier, that the terminal itself is going to cost like 1 lakh rupees or something,
Yeah.
which is really not commercially viable in a market like India. What's going to happen is that what I believe, I don't know, maybe it might be wrong, but what I believe is that maybe Starlink or any other satcom provider might be partnering with a local telco operator, and they might try to offer the internet connectivity in the remote area where there is hardly any connectivity. And The pricing factor, we don't know how they're going to work out with, but something, see, a provider cannot be successful unless they don't touch the B2C part, definitely they have
Obviously.
to, it need to be there on the B2C part. So that is something very, very important. You cannot be really commercially successful with an enterprise thing, the pricing is a big point that we need to see, like what exactly, because India is a very price sensitive market, and it's really going to be something what is going to be very important that we're going to see, like with a Satcom player, like that's the thing. So Tanay, I just want to ask you, like although you have covered so many things about Satcom, and you even interviewed one of the person from the Satcom industry, what exactly is going to make a difference, like when it comes to Satcom? Like you think the speed what they are promising, we're going to get it like with the current, like right now, I think the kind of consumers what we have in India, they basically use mobile for WhatsApp, YouTube, and Netflix and Amazon Prime, these kind of conception. Like it's I don't see, like maybe with a proper mobile internet, things can work, right? Like, so what do you see when it comes to the speed? Like you think the speed can match up with what exactly it's going to be? Like what's your take like?
Okay, so Tarun, I don't think the Satcom thing is a play for speed. Elon Musk said that we offer up to 300 Mbps speed. So while that is not too great, that is not around 500 Mbps, 1 Gbps, but 300 Mbps is, very good for normal consumers. So what the Satcom sector will do is, it will reach areas where terrestrial networks are not there presently. So telecom operators can potentially, partner with the Satcom players and reach areas where they are not present, or they cannot go because of certain restrictions. And talking about Satcom companies, OneWeb and Bharti Airtel, it's a natural partnership because Bharti Enterprises already owns the company. And Starlink, it has shown intent that it is ready to partner with a telco, be it Reliance Jio or Vodafone Idea. So I guess that is something that is definitely going to happen. And as you said, B2C is a very big thing in India because there's a billion people. So why would you want to miss out on that huge chunk of market? So yeah, while there's a B2B model there, there's also a B2C thing. But again, I just don't know if people are going to spend 1 lakh rupees on a broadband connection, because they can get an alternative for it, which is around 12,000 per year, and they'll get 100 Mbps, 200 Mbps speed from Geo Fiber, Airtel Extreme Fiber. So I really don't know how it's going to pan out, but it is something that will definitely closely follow.
And it's even too early for us to predict about the Satcom thing. It's very early stage for the Satcom.
It's very early stage. Yeah, true.
Tanay, is there any other new telecom technology innovation that you want to expect in next year? Like, is there anything?
So it's not just the telecom thing, but the smartphones that are going to evolve. I've seen that foldables are becoming very popular these days. Motorola has come out with one. Samsung has many in the market. Huawei just came out with another one, and Vivo, even Apple has patented something like that. So even Apple has one in its plans. So that is something to look forward to, because foldables it's still a very new technology, and 2022 should proliferate it, make it more viable, more affordable, because with scale technology becomes more affordable. Not in the case of Apple, true, but yeah, that is something to look forward to. What about you? You are looking forward to something else?
What I'm looking forward is that maybe telecom operators are gonna try to come up with like how Airtel and other came up with Wynk and like music offerings. Earlier we didn't had an option, like television music and all like. So I think they might come up with some sort of a offering which can attract consumers. Like if you remember, like Vodafone was the operator who started providing lounge access, but unfortunately due to COVID it didn't work out well, which was a very useful feature. And maybe you can get to see some kind of add-on things that's going to come up which can potentially attract end consumers. we don't know what exactly it's going to be. It can be a product, it can be an add-on service. We don't know, like, and to
Yeah.
add to that, like if you look at it, Airtel on top of that, they are working on something called Airtel Black, and it's
Yeah.
combination of all the plans and services into one particular platform. So you don't, and if you look at rest of the operators, like even they are adding on this OTT apps and all together, right? Like over the period of time. So we might get to see some new things, like new services, like an add-on kind of thing that's going to come up over the period of time. We don't know what exactly it's going to be,
Yeah.
but it's definitely, we need to look forward, and it's going to be interesting the next year, like. So
Yeah.
Tanay, my next question to you regarding from the telecom industry is that, like, you think infra sharing, like how, like the government is also talking about it, Mukesh Ambani is also talking about it, like even Sunil Bharti Mittal, I'm sorry, pardon me, I think Sunil Bharti
Yeah.
Mittal was
Sunil
the one
Bharti
who
Mittal
was,
was the one. Yeah.
yeah, he was the one who actually wanted
Yeah.
this network infra sharing. You think that is something gonna come up? Like, you think it's gonna come up next year? Like,
So again, Tarun, that is too early to say, but I know the telcos want it to happen. Bharti Airtel wants it to happen, but I don't know if Jio would be very happy with actively sharing infrastructure for areas, where it has already invested money on. But yeah, it makes actually sense for the greater benefit of the nation. But as a telco, you would want your competition to be present in an area where you are already there. Yeah, obviously you can take some rent money kind of out from Airtel or Vodafone Idea. Jio can do that, and even Airtel can take that sort of money from Jio and Vodafone, where it's present and no other telco is. But I don't think the telcos would be very actively sharing their priority circles with the other telcos. So while infrastructure sharing is beneficial for the nation as a whole, I don't think it's in the greater benefit of the businesses themselves. Yeah.
so Tanay, my last question comes to you. Like, we literally forgot about the DTH sector. Like
Yeah.
what's happening in the DTH sector? Like, people are actually moving towards OTT apps.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see that much conception that is happening personally in my home. They are more inclined towards like OTT apps. Like, they are watching more through, like, whether it's serial or movies or whatsoever it is. They are more inclined
Mhm.
towards that. So, do you see that people are gonna slowly, gradually move away from the cable or DTH sector and jump into what to say, like the OTT app thing next year? Like, that erosion is gonna be there.
No, Tarun, I think you are overestimating the OTT thing. I believe that OTT needs the presence of internet, and India doesn't have internet presence everywhere, right? There are rural areas where only TVs or satellite services can reach. Even in the city areas, I know that a lot of people have shifted to OTT platforms, but again, if you want to watch every type of content, then you'll have to purchase OTT subscriptions for each and every application. But with a TV service, it's very simple. You just know the numbers, you're used to watching TV, and then people are not very fast to change, right? If you're comfortable with something as a consumer, you don't want it to change right away, because the sole reason is you're very familiar with it, and you wouldn't want to change it. Why would you change it? Because there's not a very big benefit, right? You need a broadband connection to, if there are 10 people in your home, you need a broadband connection with that kind of speed to facilitate them with the experience of watching OTT seamless. But I don't think OTT is going to take over DTH right away, because I read a report from TRI, and it said that 50% of its I don't know the term for it, whether it's media revenues or what kind of revenue, but it is somewhere in the OTT and DTH space, the revenues that Try was talking about, and 50% or more than that came from the DTH sector, and maybe around 17 or 34% came from the OTT thing, maybe 17 only. So there's a very big difference. If you're asking me if 2022 is going to be the year when all of it changes, no, there will be a gradual shift in the urban city areas, but I don't think OTT is going to come and sway away TV watchers. So that is my opinion on it. What do you think?
I think the shift has already started when broadband providers and telco providers started bundling the OTT apps. People are getting slowly getting used to it. But you kept a very valid point. Like it's not like it's not going to be a sudden shift. Maybe people are getting used to it. Like if you look at it, some new movies are coming up on OTT apps. As and when it's getting released. But still, I see the shift is there. Maybe in city, people are not much bothered about the details. I know a couple of people who are only using OTT apps rather than watching TVs. For news, we are getting news on the mobile. There are live streaming happening on YouTube. Let's forget the fact that like OTT, like you get to watch news. Sports, for that there are OTT apps, there are apps like for cricket, there's Hotstar and Sony Live, and so for movies there are Netflix, Amazon Prime, and a couple of other regional like Sun and all those kind of stuff. And also, what's gonna happen? Like, what's gonna change is that maybe we need to see that there is one provider that comes up which gonna bundle everything with one fixed standard price. That if something like that comes up, maybe it's gonna change the market dynamics. The way how we consume TV, it's gonna literally change. Even TVs are now smart enough, like they come with integrated and all those kind of stuff and all. So that's the thing. Anyway, Sane, thanks for the nice insight of let's wind up and let's hope next year we're gonna get to see more innovative stuff from the telecom industry, and I hope the tariffs are affordable for everyone. And let's hope the industry sustain and it grows, because industry also need revenue. So even if there is a hike happening, it's gonna be good for consumer also over the period of time, because if you pay money, you're gonna get quality service. If not, definitely it's gonna change. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for all the feedback. Thank you so much, Tane. And
thank you.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.